Well, hey there, friends. It's Chris from the Rate the Record podcast, and it's that time again. Of course it is. It's time for the new music review. That's what we do this part of the week. I got 3 new songs for you to check out because I did. Now I want to hear your opinion on them. So let's not waste time. Let's get right into it because music, discussion, yes. This will likely be the last NMR with this hat on. I finally got my paycheck, just haven't got my haircut yet. Plan on doing that soon. All good. It's a 9 Inch Nails hat, so it's not even that bad anyway. So first up on the list, we have Green Day. Yes, the legendary, or at least now legendary, pop-punk band who's been around since the 90s, or probably even longer than that under a different name. But regardless, they've been around for quite some time. They're out of East Bay, California, and they have a new album dropping next year. Their 14th studio album, to be exact. The album is called Saviors, and the first track that they are teasing us with is The American Dream Is Killing Me. One of my first big issues with this track actually comes with the vocals themselves, like all over the track too. It's not just one little part, it's like the whole thing. There's something very off about the vocals. Like, it's some sort of like weird processing on it or something, some sort of weird effect, I don't know. And I get that Billy Joel is obviously older at this point, so he's not gonna sound exactly the same as he used to. So I can't quite put my finger on it, but it doesn't sound right. Something sounds weird about it. I don't know what it is, and I don't like it. The production on the track itself, though, it's not so bad. I mean, it is a little, like, tip-top polished for what should be a quote-unquote punk track, but it's not necessarily awful, so I won't complain too much about that. There's a good energy in the track, so I can at least appreciate that much about it. The rest just feels really unimaginative, I guess is the best way to put it, because I mean, like, it feels like you've heard this song on a previous album or two already. Like, there's nothing new or outstanding about this track. So if you like that kind of sound that you've gotten from like the last 3 or 4 albums or so, then maybe you'll like this one. But the thing is, like, it's just getting old and kind of dried up at this point. There's just nothing really catching me about it. There's also this random insertion of strings that I didn't really feel like it fit at all. It was a really odd choice to throw in, especially because like it didn't even last most of the song either. It was just this quick, brief thing, and I don't know, it just didn't really sit well. I don't know. There's a lot of bad choices in this song. So overall, I'll just say, you know, this ain't it. This song. This ain't it. If you skip this one, chances are you're not gonna miss much, but I mean, if you super dig Green Day, if that is your thing, then maybe you'll like this way more. I already said that earlier. It kind of sounds like some of their older tracks, but not in like the good way though. So, but if you like that, then it's for you, I guess. So coming up next on the list, we have the Zaffiros, or the Zaffiros. I'm not exactly trying to pronounce that, I apologize, but regardless, they are a 3-piece ambient/alt-rock band out of Devon, England, and they've been around for a couple of years now, and with that, they've actually dropped a couple of singles, and the most recent one of them being the one I'm checking out today, and it's called Strain. I will say, too, that they consist of band members of the band Iguanas, which is actually a band I covered back earlier this year. I think like way back in February, I covered their song Forefathers. I really dug that track, so like, what will this new project be like? I guess we're gonna find out right now because that's kind of what I have to do. The first chunk of the track has a very soft and airy flow to it. The acoustics mixed with that almost like 80s post-punk new wave style of clean guitar played along really nicely with each other, and I've been getting really more into 80s stuff over the last year than I ever have in my entire life, especially with post-punk and stuff like that. So when I give it a compliment like that, that's a good thing, I promise you. As we approach the end of the first half of the song, it does break into a heavier portion. It's got a heavier, shuffle style beat, I guess. Everything is filled out really nicely in the production. It's all there, especially when you're wearing headphones. It sounds very clean. Just doesn't sound like they have any wasted space in the production, so I really appreciate that. Obviously, as compared to the earlier parts of the track, the distorted guitars are a really nice touch to have, and I like this feeling of building that this track has. And then you have these strings in the background kind of like guiding the melodies and rhythms along. It's a really nice touch, so I kind of like where this song is leading to, because it feels like it's leading to something bigger. And I mean, I guess spoiler alert, because I'm going to talk about it in a second anyways, that's what happens. Thanks me from a few seconds ago. The song piece in like the last quarter of the track, or going towards the last quarter of the track, it gets far heavier. There's like chugging to the guitars and everything like that. And what I believe to be screaming in the background, I could be wrong, but I think I heard that. But regardless, it's unexpected, not unwelcome though, so I just like that this has had a lot of building to it. Overall, I will say it's an absolutely solid tune. The vocals reminded me of something I would hear in like a Mod Wheel Mood track, and even if you don't know who they are, that's okay, because I like Mod Wheel Mood. mood. The production's great, and it went in different places, which is always appreciated, obviously, because it started quieter, went heavier, went back to the quieter portion at the end. I would say worth it. It's worth it, I should say. It's definitely worth it. Check it out. Just because I can't word that properly doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to it. And finally, on the list today, we have Big Wreck, the Canadian-American alt-rock band from Boston, Massachusetts. They've released plenty of music over their last 30 to 30-plus year career, and they've just dropped a brand new single, I think a day before I recorded this, and the song is called Bail Out. This one starts really heavy, and I think it's heavier than I would have anticipated them going. Granted, Big Wreck has done heavy stuff in the past, but there's something about this that just felt so different to me. Maybe I haven't listened to their newer stuff or anything like that, or I haven't heard them in a while, I don't know. But this one was different because you have these really low chugging guitars, and you mix that with the vocals that happens. There was a bit of a nu metal style to it when I was first listening to it. I was worried for a minute there, but that doesn't last. It's just part of the verse, so it's fine. Can you imagine Big Wreck going nu metal in 2023? You had your chance. As I said, it does change up because the chorus comes out heavy, but it's far smoother. It's got a better flow to it than the verses do. By that, I just mean it's again, silky, smooth kind of stuff. So you kind of get a little of those two styles as you listen, so you can find something to appreciate out of it. Even the mix of the two you could appreciate. I like them both, that's fine. Probably the chorus more than the verse. Maybe depending on how I'm feeling, but I don't know. Now I'm just feeling very back and forth about this. There's definitely a lot more heavier and faster energy in this track, far less bluesy, if not bluesy at all, as compared to their older previous material. I'm far more into their older stuff from the 90s and early 2000s, and obviously we've done a Big Wreck album here on the show before, but I've always found myself attracted to their bluesier stuff from the early days, so this stuff isn't bad or anything, it's just it's almost like I'm not anticipating this, I'm not ready for this. Overall, it's interesting to say the least. I won't complain about it. I mean, it's fine. It's a little butt rocky, I guess, if you want to go in that direction, but it's definitely not insufferable as compared to some of the butt rock that's out there currently or even in the past. So you know what? Go ahead, check it out, have a good time. Bada bing, bada boom, I'm done. That's 3 brand new songs for you to check out this week, and I think you should. So thank you very much for watching this video and checking out what I had to think about them, and thank you very much for listening to the music if you did. And if you did indeed do that, I can speak properly. Let me know down in the comments below of wherever you're listening. Wow, these words are not working today. But regardless, your words can work down in the comments below. Tell me what you thought of these tracks, because my opinions aren't the only things I want to hear, because I'm the one who wrote them. I want to hear yours too. Let's talk about it. Good times. But also, you can go to ratetherecord.ca, our website, ratetherecord.ca, where you can also let us know your opinions and stuff, because all of our streaming links are there, so you can let us know over there. All of our social media links are there, so you can follow us and tell us your opinions on these things as well. I mean, those always work out too. And also on ratetherecord.ca, you can get merch. You can join the RTR Club for $5 a month and get a bunch of bonus stuff, and that's really cool, and you should check it out. And you can request albums for us to do on the actual Rate the Record podcast. So one more time, as if I hadn't said it enough already, ratetherecord.ca. Remember, www. I'm not going to say it again, don't worry about it, but you get it. I will say Rate the Record podcast again, though, because yes, that is the main thing that we do here on Rate the Record. We have these NMRs, but the podcast is the mainstay of the whole thing. And this past Monday was episode 95, and we got a second request for Will Wood, but this time and the Tapeworms at the end of it. And we looked at their 2016 album, Selfish. Yes, I do remember it. We took a look at that, so this was very interesting to get into. What did we think about it as compared to the last Will Wood album we did a long time ago? You'll have to tune in and find out. It was a pretty decent episode, I'll say that much, but what do you think about the album? That's the part you gotta find out. Oh, we also dressed up, or I did at the very least. It was a Halloween-themed episode since it released on the 30th of October. So if you want to see a bunch of cool skeleton stuff all around me, and I wear a Plague Doctor mask, check that out. Plenty of reasons for you to be watching. I'm done rambling, I'm done talking, I'm done doing everything except editing this episode and then releasing it for you. I have to do that right now. It's late. I'm very tired, so I gotta get to work. So I'm gonna cut this off now. Thank you very much for listening to the music. Thank you very much for checking out the podcast. We'll see you on Monday for a brand new episode. Until then, go listen to some awesome music. Take care, friends.